Afternoon, everybody. I want to introduce you to a new report I spent the weekend creating. It's called the PitchFork. Now, for those that are wondering why I named it the PitchFork, well, I thought about tar and feathers, but that didn't seem appropriate. And the pitchfork just seemed to fit the mood of the world. Not just America, the world. So anyway, let's take a look at it. We're going to look at Cisco today. You ever hear of Cisco? We're going to show you things you didn't know about them. First, let's start out with the true rate of unemployment for May 2026 is 24.6% compared to the official headline rate of 4.3%, which everybody knows is nothing but BS. The labor force participation rate for May 2026 stands at 61.8%, unchanged from last month, which is probably BS too. The foreign-born employment in May 2026 is 31,472,000. That's down 176,000 from last month. But don't go hip, hip, hooray, because that's nothing but noise. The only true indication is the last two numbers. Native-born employment in May 2026 is 131,426,000. It's up 294,000 from last month. Now, the only way to get a true number is to go back to January 2007, which is why I featured that here. Of all jobs added since January 2007, foreign-born workers account for 49% of the gain. Native-born workers account for 51% of the gain. So when old Governor Abbott down there gets down on his high horse and tells you Texas is the place for jobs, we're creating jobs left and right, we got more jobs we know what to do with, you can get in his face and say, bullshit, Governor. Texans only get 51% as of this month. Might be less next month. Tell the truth for a change. Hell, you're getting as bad as that other guy up in the White House. Can't believe a word you say. So anyway, let's go down here. We show all the H-1B applications, but we don't want you to have to waste any time figuring that out. What we do is we analyze it all for you right here. Cisco has applications filed in 2026 alone for 14,980 workers. And that workers has a total payroll cost of $2,934,218 and $8. And folks, that's money that could be going to Americans, but it's not. 3,027 of them jobs are software engineers. Well, hell, all of us have been forced out of technologies that are American or software engineers. We've all worked in there. And it breaks them all down, hardware engineer, technical consultant engineer, it shows them all. The key point down here at the bottom, workers by wage levels, we didn't sort that out for you too. 16 of them were entry-level workers. 3,989 of them were entry-level. About 8,000 of them are what they call experienced and expert, 212. So Americans could very easily do them jobs. The problem is they're not considered. Now this next part here, we break this down by wage distribution. As you can see, most of them, there's 32 of them that make more than $80,000 a year. 705,000 makes between $100,000 and $130,000 a year. 2,127 make between $130,000 and $160,000 a year, and 12,116 of lucky bastards and women make over $160,000 a year. Now, Americans are quite capable of doing these jobs. It's not they're not given the opportunity to do these jobs. On this right column, we even show you who hired them. Most of them are hired by Cisco, almost 15,000 of them. But Infosys and Tech Mahindra and Wipro and LM Mindtree, Accenture, Tata, Cognizant, Techgents, SAIT, Component. I've run across them once or twice. Megansoft, Persistent, and all these other companies down here. You can scroll down. They supply workers. We even show you who the board of directors are. Here's a guy named Charles H. Robinson. You can click on that link. It'll bring up a picture of him. CEO of Cisco Systems. Apparently he's a former CEO because he's now on the board of directors. If you don't have enough pictures there, click on that images link there. By golly, you'll see all kinds of them. So let's go back to that. That's the board of directors. Well, hell, they're the ones that approve everything, but they probably rubber stamp it. Who's the one that's actually doing that? Oh, there's that Charles H. Robinson again. Apparently he's still the chair and chief executive officer. Their former executive vice president and chief operating officer is Maria Martinez. Gary Steele's the former president, go-to-market. Jeff Sarich is former executive vice president and chief customer and partner office. Here's a Patel as president and chief product officer. R. Scott Heron, former executive vice president and chief financial officer. Here's one I'm not even sure I can say it right, but we're going to try it. Dev Stolikop, executive vice president and chief legal officer. Here's another guy that's definitely not American born. Timaya Subaya, I guess, executive vice president of operations. And Jerry Elliott, former executive vice president, chief customer and partner officer. How's that for naming them, shaming them? We haven't shown you their salaries. This guy here made $761,700. No bonus. Got stock awards, $12 million. Total comps around almost $15 million. Let's click at him. Who is he or she or whatever? Oh, no pictures. Got his link in there. Easy to find. How's that for making it easy for you? All there's his pictures. By golly, gee whiz, you know. For an old country boy, we made this really easy for you. I got to give Claude most of the credit. He just took my direction and ran with it. Now, which one of them politicians are they supporting? Got their PAC. You can click on it and view on the FCC Gov. Here's something that you'll find interesting. The NRCC, which is apparently Republican, and the NRSC, which is apparently Republican, and the DCCC and the DSCC, which are both Democrat, all four of them received $30,000 apiece. Damn. You reckon they're trying to stack the deck all against Americans and all for them? Anyway, we show you all of them. Here's old Steve Scalise. Hell, I thought he's one of the good guys, and he's getting money from them. Oh, there's that sorry SOB. John Cornyn there. Look at him. $6,250. Well, he can kiss that goodbye. I don't want to see Paxton in there, but I damn sure don't want to see Cornyn in there either. Tom Tillis. Isn't he supposed to be one of the guys? $5,000. Mr. Southern Missourian in the House PAC. $5,000. How's this, man? We make it easy for you to see all this stuff. You didn't know all that stuff's out there, did you? Well, we're creating these things on every company out there. If they're publicly traded, we're going to supply them. We're going to make it easy for you. We're going to do the homework for you. That way, all you got to do is let your fingers do the walking. And now, if you ever see them in person, do some pointing at them, too. Say, you don't deserve to be an American. You damn sure ain't patriot. You need to go over to these other countries, and we'll shut off your business so you can't sell here in America. Because you're doing more destructions of Americans than any company in America, except for the other 6,000 or 10,000 we're going to name, too. Think about that, folks. If you want good-paying jobs, you got to name and shame these guys. You got to put their pictures on the milk cartons like you used to have back in the old days, the convicts and stuff they were looking for. They had them, if I remember right, they had them for the kids they were looking for that went missing, and they also had them for the criminals. Maybe that was the post office. Anyway, just think. When you see these people at their corporate headquarters or their fancy restaurants or their country club or whatever, now you'll know what they look like. Walk up and give them a great big old howdy and say, man, I really want to let you know how bad a job I think you're doing. Be nice, be civil, be polite. But if you don't name them and shame them, they're going to continue doing what they're doing. They got all the money and you got none. So the media's not going to tell you that. anyway, I've rambled on enough. 10 minutes, that's longer than I like to go. I just want you to give everybody a thought. And I'm only a one-man shop, guys. I make $1,419 a month. There's a QR code. If you can afford to donate, I'd appreciate it. If you can't, I understand why. You're probably in the same shape I'm in. But this stuff's not going to stop until we make it stop. You need to get it on face old Trump up there. And the governor of your state, all 50 states, they need to be made aware of what's going on. Share this with them. Tell them. Say enough's enough. It's time to put Americans first. Not America first, Americans. Because right now all they're doing is they're putting America businesses first. Well, by God, those American businesses employ Americans, or they used to. They used to provide a pretty good living for most of us. Last 23 years, I haven't made hardly anything. And my skills are still as good or better than most. So give them hell, folks. Name them. Shame them. Let's end this nightmare.